start chatting. I know that some of you are still eating, and that's totally cool. But based on for time, I'm gonna just start talking. So, all right. So just to give you a bit of background about me, my name is Jane Schweitzer, and I do live in Stony Creek. I have lived actually in the Hamilton-Burlington area since 1987. My parents, when I lived with my parents out on the mountain. And you know, I've been in Brantford and Hagersville and Burlington and Hamilton, and now I'm Stony Creek. You know, it's all around this area. So I'm 48 years old. I have 2 children, 21-year-old daughter and a 9-year-old son. And Mirella asked me to share a bit about my story, about how I got started. And I thought, well, that's kind of a cool thing, because it's more than just, well, here's my products, and you know. So, you know, 48 years worth of stuff, where do I start, right? But I'm going to basically start with something that happened in 2012. So my daughter was 15 at the time, and she was suffering from depression. And I decided to take her down to a place called Hippocrates Health Institute in Florida, West Palm Beach, Florida. And they had something there called the Life Transformation Program. So because I went there, I'm the parent, and I was doing the program too. I was going there for her, to help her, but because I'm there, I'm doing the program. And we were eating raw living foods, we were drinking green juice and wheatgrass juice, we were in the saunas, we were in the mineral pools, we were having lectures. It was like quite the program. And it was so amazing after this 3 weeks that I came home. And I worked in the dental field at the time. I had worked in the dental field for lots of years. I was office manager, did administration. And I came back to work, and I was thinking about all the things I could be doing if I was not stuck in an office. And I had that, you know, feeling of, as some of you may know, that entrepreneurial feeling of, I'm a bird that has wings, and I need to fly, and I need to get out of this cage.
Yeah.
So that was the summer of 2012. So I graduated from the Life Transformation Program in August of 2012. And in January of 2013, I quit my job. I had nothing to go to. I just quit my job. My husband wasn't working at the time. I had a young son. I know you guys probably think that's crazy, but I just needed to be free. So what I started doing right away was hosting health and wellness events. And I would get speakers, and I would get vendors just, you know, all different types, right? Chiropractors, acupuncturists, and reflexologists, and juices, and nut milks, and you know, all types of health and wellness practitioners. And I put these events together, and they were really successful. In fact, the very first one that I did was at a church in Hamilton on Dundurn Street, a Little United Church. And we had about 350 people show up. We had a line up outside the door. Yeah, it was crazy. And that's when I realized, and I didn't charge anything at the time. I just charged $50 for the vendors to have a table, because it was my first event, and I just wanted to see what the you know, the vibe was, and how it would go. So I knew then that I could do more. So I started to put on more health and wellness events. So in that same year of March 2013, I was introduced to Doterra essential oils. And because that's right up my alley, I went to a class, and I learned about the oils and why Doterra, particularly, the quality is out of this world, okay? It's second to none. They are medical grade oils. You can take them internally. And we support the farmers that live in those countries, and that's where we get our oils from. And I have been to Guatemala, where we get the cardamom. I picked the cardamom off the trees. I was in Hawaii in January. We went to the Hawaiian sandalwood farm, and we were planting trees, okay? And the really cool thing is those trees won't be ready for harvest for 30 years. So how forward-thinking and futuristic is a company that they're not going to make any money for 30 years on Hawaiian sandalwood, yet they're building their legacy. I just thought that was really amazing. So I signed up at this class that I went to in March of 2013 with a what they called a family physician's kit. They've changed the name since, Central Collection. And it was basically a starter kit of 10 oils, the most popular oils, things like lavender, lemon, peppermint, on guard, oregano, tea tree, stuff like that. And I thought, this is great, I will start using these oils. And I went on this program called LRP, which is a loyalty rewards program, because I didn't want to miss out on any points or perks. I like to get free stuff. So I went on LRP at that time, and I've never come off since. I have spent thousands of dollars, but I've also redeemed thousands of dollars worth of product. And I just thought, for me, this is a no-brainer. I'd never used essential oils before, but I liked the idea of replacing things in your medicine cabinet, like the Rolaids and the Robaxacet and aspirin, all this kind of stuff. Because we have a saying in Doterra, there's an oil for that. So that was great. Started using the oils, and my lady that signed me up, my upline, said to me over the course of a whole year, why don't you do this as a business? Because you have a really good network. Because she could see that I was putting on these events. In fact, Charlotte came to one of my events, okay? And she was selling green juice and like it was great. And so Donna said to me, why don't you do this as a business? I said, well, thanks for asking, but I'm too busy. And she kept going, actually. Donna kept going, and her story was really amazing simply because she has 3 children, and 2 children, honestly, the oils changed their lives. Now, she did put them on a raw food diet, okay, that's very important. But her one son, her middle son, had a very severe autoimmune disease, and because she used these doTERRA oils in a particular protocol, she actually healed her son. I know the word heal and cure you're not supposed to use, but her son was told by the top nephrologist at McMaster University that he would maybe live till about 20, 25 years old, and he would be on an experimental drug. But she said no to that. And he's now a teenager, he's doing great, like he was like 6 at the time. Anyway, so she said, why don't you do this as business? I said, no, it's okay, you know. But in May of 2014, there was an event in Ohio, a regional event. And she says, you gotta come on, you know, I got your ticket for you, and share the rides, share the hotel. I'm like, oh, I don't know, I gotta find babysitting. And anyways, I went to this event, and I saw the face of doTERRA, and I saw the owners of the company, and I saw the bigger picture of it all. I was also looking around at people and going, that person's that rank and they're making that kind of money? And this person, like, these are just average people. I'm like, I can do that. Like, really, I can do that too. So I came back and I said to Donna, I'm in. I'm doing this as a business. And from that moment on to today, I have been building my business. And because I started when I did, Canada was a very, very new market, and they had founders positions open. Didn't know what that meant. Donna says, you gotta get to gold so you can be a founder. I'm like, what's gold? And she's like, well, you're only 1 rank away, because I was silver. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll be gold then. And so I got to gold, and then I became a founder. But then you gotta keep your rank or go higher, right? I managed to do that. And so here we are in 2019, and I'm still a Canadian founder, and I'm a Blue Diamond in doTERRA, which is the 2nd highest rank. My goal is to be Presidential Diamond, and some of you know that I am looking for leaders. I am looking for superstar, more than one, obviously, but in particular, I want to start my presidential leg. So I'm looking for that special person, but I'm always looking for entrepreneurial people to join my team. But I'm also looking for customers. I'm quite happy to help you with that today too, because I've got the cleaners, and I'll talk a bit about that later though. But how to tell you that I'm so impressed with this company. This is my 3rd multi-level marketing company, and what Doterra is doing for these farmers is really, really special. Knowing that when I buy a bottle of vetiver, so vetiver is an oil that comes from Haiti, and it's from the ground. It's a root that they pull up from the ground. It's very good for racing brain, by the way. It smells a bit like a wet dirt, but it's an amazing oil. It's a single oil. And what Doterra did when they started working in Haiti, they saw how poor the country was, and they saw how poor the people were, and they noticed that they were walking 2 hours just to get water. It wasn't even clean water. So Doterra promised Haiti that they would build a water treatment station. And in 1 year, they did it, and they got the videos to prove it.
That's great.
Okay, and you see them filling up their water tanks, and we have a distillery in Haiti, so we are giving all of these farmers jobs, and they're so very grateful. Because again, kind of what we were saying before, I think you mentioned it about how grateful people are. They don't even have that much, and they're so appreciative. And then when we take stuff for granted, but you know, when you're in these countries with these people, you really see another side of things. And so Doterra is officially in over 120 countries. We get our oils, we have different oils like all over the world. And we have distilleries all over the world as well, and it just keeps getting bigger. I'm really happy to be a part of that. One of the reasons why, so I actually have a twofold purpose in why I do Doterra. The first one is I want to be big pharma, because I'm really tired of seeing people take prescription drugs and have horrible side effects. And actually my daughter, who was 15, I told you at the time, she was put on drugs. And it was totally against my wishes, but you know, when you have an ex-spouse in the picture and things like that, it's not quite so simple. But she made the decision to come off of them, and she's never gone back on them since. She says, you know what, Mom? This was at 15, she said this. You know what the problem is with these drugs? You take them and you get side effects, but then you have to take another drug
To fix this.
to overcome the side effects. So she says, what's the point? And I said, you're right. I said, you've got to get to the cause of the problem. You can't just, and I'm not blaming doctors because they only have so much time in an office with you. Like, what's your symptoms? Oh, you've got shingles, you've got a rash? Here, take this prescription. Really, what is the real problem why we have these issues? Like when women have breast cancer and they go get a mammogram, that tumor has been growing for 8 to 10 years before a mammogram will pick it up. Okay, that's another story. We'll get into that. But the thing is, there's always a cause. I've had my health issues as well, and I'm so glad for the oils. I don't take prescription antibiotics because I use my oils. I have a homemade concoction. It's tea tree, thyme, oregano, and a blend called On Guard. And I don't care where the infection is in your body, it will kill it. Okay, you can take it internally, or you can put them on the bottom of your feet. Oils, you can diffuse them. That's not necessarily for the antibiotics, but time and again, whenever there's been an issue, including my son, like my family uses it, I go to the oils. And as a matter of fact, in 2015, I had to have sinus surgery, and I refused all medication, and I just used my oils because you know what? I had to put my money where my mouth was. Like I can't be going and promoting these oils if I'm going to turn around and go on prescriptions. So I refused them, and I healed. And the ENT doctor, when I went back for the follow-up, he says, "You've healed amazingly." So I can't say enough about how great these oils are, really and truly. One of the things that we like to do is use these oils as part of the cleaning products. So instead of using Fantastic and Vim and Ajax and all that kind of stuff, I don't know if anybody knows this, but there's now articles coming out that's saying that if you use those toxic chemicals, it's the equivalent of smoking for 20 years. Has anybody heard that? Yeah, some people have seen those articles. When you breathe stuff in, it's going right into your lungs, right into your body. So when you have Febreze and you have those Glade plugins, they're toxic for you. I'm just telling you right now, they can make you really sick. I know a lady who worked in the perfume department, you know, like Eaton's or Bay, one of those big stores. And she was in her 20s when she worked there. And because perfume is an endocrine disruptor, she believes that that's the reason why she was unable to have children, because she got so sick from work, you know, day in and day out, breathing all that stuff in, right? I can think of all the things that I did when I was younger, because I didn't know any different. Now I know. Stop. I'm not no Febreze, no Glade plugins like we're going to use the oils. And in these oils, you know, you hear about scent-free. Do these oils have a smell? Absolutely. They smell amazing. But it's no different than peeling open an orange and smelling the orange. It's that kind of a smell. It's not a toxic synthetic smell. The reason why they came out with scent-free environments is because people were walking in with perfumes and colognes and whatever, bounce dryer sheets full of chemicals, formaldehyde even. Okay, so you're coming in wearing these toxic clothes and it just comes off. And no wonder people are having rashes and whatnot, right? So with Doterra, it's really, really inexpensive to buy a glass spray bottle and use things like distilled witch hazel or like certain oils, and then your like carrier oil, or and then you use your essential oils, and sometimes just water, and then you've got your spray bottle, and it's like so cheap, and you don't have to use, and they clean as just as well as any of the chemical products, right? We have to be careful with our pets and our babies, particularly. Like if you're cleaning your house with toxic stuff, they're breathing that all in. And if you think that you can get away with breathing that stuff in, I'm sorry, but it goes right deep into the lungs. And if the oils are on you, they're in you. Any questions so far? Now, these oils you can also use with cooking. Okay, I know that Charlotte, you use you put them in your smoothies and your power balls and things like that. I use them as my medicine for sure. Makita, have you experimented a little bit?
Yeah, well, I mean, I put in my smoothie, but I threw out all my cleaning products like months and months and months ago.
Yeah. You threw them out. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Those are all gone. So
Yeah.
I pretty much just use my oils and water,
Yeah.
vinegar,
Exactly.
things like that.
Yeah. In the case with Donna's son, the one with the severe kidney autoimmune disease, she was given a protocol. It had eucalyptus and clove and wintergreen, maybe something else. And she was told to diffuse these oils in her son's bedroom, and she's like, "That's the most hokey thing I've ever heard of. To put a diffuser on, my son's got like a major issue." Well, after 4 days of diffusing, her son stopped spilling blood in his urine, and she's like, "Is this some kind of fluke?" So then she thought maybe there's something wrong with the urinalysis sticks, because that's how they had to test it. No, took him in, and from that moment on, and like, it's just incredible what can be done. Now, I always tell people that an oil that might work for me might not work for you. So experimentation is really important. And, you know, some people need to use a carrier oil if they have sensitive skin, right? So a carrier oil can be coconut oil or olive oil or grapeseed oil. And like in terms of the business, I'm so very blessed, honestly, to have found what I meant to do. So I said there were 2 parts. So the first part was to beat Big Pharma. I wanted to educate people on how they can lead natural lives without all the stuff, all the crap. And then the second part is that I like to empower women to build businesses, to become financially successful. And it's turned out to be women. I do have men on my team. I'm really blessed because I'm on now, I've had 2 failed marriages. So my daughter was from the first marriage, very different marriage, and the second one was my choice to leave in the second one. And I have a 9-year-old son, and you know, now I'm the one paying alimony, okay? Not that I want to, but my son has to be well cared for, and that's fine. And I just think that when you have something so powerful as these oils, I can't help but want to share it with everyone. And I'm very grateful that Charlotte came, Makita came, Michelle came tonight. They're part of my team. And just to give you an idea of how things have really progressed, I have almost 9,000 people in my organization. And they're from all over the world. In fact, I have a very large team in Australia. And it's not because I signed up that team to start it. It's someone on my team started that team, and it's just like a domino effect. That exponential growth, it just keeps going. And it's really amazing to see people do so well, and they started out too. Maybe they just wanted a little part-time job, and they wanted to make a little extra money. We have a lot of people that will say, I would like to make enough just to cover my order every month. And they do, and then they start to make a little bit more, and then it turns out to be more. And I actually had someone that became a builder on my team because she got a check, and her check was going up, okay? And one day she got a check for $800, and she hadn't done anything. It was just because I had placed someone underneath her that turned out to be a builder. Yeah. And she said to me, if I make $800 for not doing anything, like how much could I make if I actually did something? That's what she said to me. That's what she said to me. And she came to me and she says, okay, lay it on me. How much do you make? How do you do this? Like, how can I get started? And now she's up to $6 grand a month. Okay, and she's at a gold rank. And so it's just so exciting. You know, when we want to bring our kids, when they turn 18, we want to sign them up. I do have my daughter already. My daughter is already in the business, and you know, even though she's not like me, she's not like my personality where she's going to stand up and talk and recruit people, but she has her own way of sharing, because she uses the products. She uses the skincare, she uses the oils for her anxiety and so on. And so she'll just share with people, and she gives them samples. And you know, she's using the Barrage skincare, and she loves it. She's telling people about it, and then she sends them to me. And she's 21, and she's a little photographer, and I'm getting her to do some work with me and do some headshots for business and this sort of thing. And it's also good to show your children what the potential is, right? You know, I love the fact that we can build our businesses from scratch, and I just think it's really cool that when we have a group like this and everybody's doing something different, but we're all contributing to a better world, you know? And I would love to have any of you, as a matter of fact, I have to bring this up because right now we're in the middle of BOGO week. So Doterra does BOGOs 3 times a year usually, and BOGO stands for buy one, get one free. And we're on day 4 right now, and today's BOGO is if you buy the On Guard blend, which is also known as the protective blend. This is the oil that kills germs, kills mold. It's very, very powerful, you know, burst immune system, thank you, Makita. And so if you buy that On Guard blend, it's a 15 ml bottle, which has about 250 drops in it. You only need 1 drop at a time, so it lasts a while. Then you're gonna get the Slim and Sassy blend for free. So what's Slim and Sassy? It's a metabolic blend. It's the blend that can help you lose weight. You can use it on cellulite, and they do come in a soft gel as well. But what I can tell you about the Slim and Sassy, I have taken it off and on. I've definitely used it on cellulite, hips, tummy, and But I had a lady that she was a bigger lady, and she really wanted to drop some weight, and so she started taking 5 drops at each meal. So 3 meals a day is 15 to 20 drops she started to take. When she first started, she was only doing like a couple drops, wasn't working. And she called me up and she says, I've lost 13 pounds. This was at the time, like after a couple weeks. And she says, I gotta tell you that when I upped the dosage to the 5 to 6 drops per meal, she says, you know when you're at a restaurant and you're full, but you still keep picking anyway? She says, oh, I couldn't pick anymore. Like I was full, like she was so full, and she was not eating at night and stuff like that. So that's how good it worked, you know. With something like Slim and Sassy or On Guard, you can put it right in your water and drink it. You can put it in a veggie cap and swallow it. In the case for topical, you know, for cellulite, you can rub it right on, massage it in. So that's today only, is buy the On Guard and get the Slim and Sassy for free. And then we have kits that you can buy, the starter kits. And the reason why the starter kits are really good is because sometimes you don't know what oils to use, right, for what things, and you need a few in your medicine cabinet, right? So you need the basics. So Doterra put together some kits that had the most popular oils in it, right? And I have all that information if you're interested. But here's another thing I have to share today. It's kind of like just really good timing. So we have the BOGOs. We have a promo on right now that if you sign up, you can get a couple of free oils. But Kimberly, on my team here, is doing Diamond Club. So Diamond Club is a special, I'm going to let you speak about Diamond Club because I think it's pretty exciting that you do. Kimberly, it's your first time doing Diamond Club.
Yes, first time, and I'm new to Doterra too. I started in June. So they do Diamond Club a couple times a year, and I thought, I gotta look into this opportunity. It was sounding very appealing, and so I kind of dove in with 2 feet, not really knowing what I was getting myself into. So anyways, it started this month, and there's 100 of us Canadians doing it. So I'm sponsored, she's one of my sponsors, sponsored to travel across Canada to change lives to as many people as I can and educate on Doterra and the opportunities for your health and for your wealth. And so what I can offer to everyone today is that they have additional perks for when you get started with Doterra and these starter kits. So other free oils that you can take advantage of. So it's a nice, gracious gift because the starter kits are the key, the top 10 oils that come in those, that's the key to creating your natural medicine cabinet and can cover over 80% of your healthcare needs in your home when you have the right tools. So these extra bonuses are just to sweeten that transition in your life to just being open to something natural and have it be your routine and share that opportunity to everyone that is not all the time.
It's so awesome because we would not be able to offer this if Kimberly was not here. She has to be present in the group in order for you to sign on. So if you were sign up with an account, so it's kind of like having a Costco membership, right? You, the value of that Costco membership is $42, and that allows you to buy all your product at wholesale price. The products are shipped right to your door. And then, you know, the loyalty rewards program is something you can do. It's not required. It's a great deal because you get all the points that you get. But if you just want to buy here and there, that's totally fine too. But because Kimberly's here, if you were to get a membership tonight, then you're going to get perks from Diamond Club. Then there's the On Guard BOGO, which I would recommend you get. And then the thing that I'm doing, because again, this is my first event with my brilliant friends. Thank you, Mirella. If you do sign up, I'm going to give you one of my free spray bottles. Now, if you only want to buy spray bottles tonight, that's cool too, if you just want to try stuff out. I'm just going to talk a little bit about these products. So we have an all-purpose cleaner, which is in this red bottle right here. And in this one, it's half a liter of water, 20 mils of an On Guard cleaner concentrate. So what that is, it's something that Doterra made. So you know what a concentrate is, right? So it's On Guard oils in it. So it's something that you can use to clean your house. And so that's in there. And then we've got lemon oil. And so I'll just gonna pass that around. We have a glass cleaner. This has distilled vinegar in it. It has lemon in it, tea tree, rubbing alcohol, and water. Okay. I'm gonna pass that one around to you. Yeah. And then the wood duster, that I really appreciated Mirella giving that testimony earlier. So this one has Arbor Vitae oil in it, which is a wood oil. Arbor Vitae means, tree of life, and it's from BC. That's where we get the Arbor Vitae oil in Canada. And this has got olive oil, distilled white vinegar, and the Arbor Vitae in it. And then we have a linen spray. So it's always good to freshen up your bed linens, right? Because, you know, all the dust mites and so on, and the little critters that are on us that come off on our dead skin. Don't even think about it. So linen spray, this has lavender in it, rubbing alcohol and distilled water, okay? And again, when you have something like this and you use it up, then you just refill it, right? Because you're gonna get the recipes. And then we have Stink Away. Stink Away has Purify, which is a blend, and with some good nose on Mirella, she picked up the lemon that's in the Purify blend. So this is really good for stinky hockey bags, gym bags, anything that's, you know, like I remember, I'm going to tell you something interesting. Years ago, I was working at a little gym, and there was a lady talking about her dog, and the dog would smell, right? So she said to her vet, what can I use on my dog? And he said, oh, you can Febreze your dog. I'm serious, that's what they said, you can Febreze your dog. So if you're going to Febreze your dog, use Stink Away instead, because this is safe. And I do have a vet on my team, by the way. Her name is Kelly Mark, and she's Canada's oily vet. And she does presentations all the time about the safe use of oils with pets, okay? So she's a small animal veterinarian, and she's got a great PowerPoint on cats are more particular than dogs. There are more oils you can't use with cats than dogs. Dogs do very well with the oils, frankincense particularly. And that's why I say, like, but only Doterra, because the quality of Doterra, you can actually, they have something called Source to You. It's a website that you can track your bottle. So when you purchase a bottle from Doterra, it has a lot number on it, and you can go into this website and type in the lot number, and it tells you exactly where it came from and the process behind it. Yeah, so you pass my Stink Away.
And they're the only company that reveals that transparency.
Thank you.
That.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, exactly. Like the lengths that Doterra goes to for the quality and the safety. I have to tell you, if you're going to buy an oil from a store, please be careful. If it says flammable on it, if it says do not ingest in bold, run away like Forrest Gump, because it's actually very bad for you. Like you could do more damage than if you didn't use it at all. Walmart came out with oils. The problem with the essential oil industry is that it's unregulated. So there's no checks and balances. Okay, like when you put something, when you have a bottle and it says 100% pure, maybe 10% of it is pure. The rest is fillers, right? And you know, if you bought, say, oil of oregano, for example, and you read the bottle, you'll see that it might have olive oil with it, right? Is there anything wrong with olive oil? No. But do you really want to pay for olive oil when you can buy your own? Second of all, olive oil goes rancid. So if you don't use that oil up right, then it's not going to be any good. So you have to be really careful. I say let the experts do what they do best, and Doterra, they're the experts. It is almost 11 years old now, the company. Started in 2008, which was, the big recession in the States. The owners, there's 7 owners. They went 13 months without a paycheck because they didn't want to bring in any outside investors. They wanted to be able to control their company and not have somebody tell them how they can cut corners and think. They wanted the best quality, right? So I admire them for that. All 7 owners, I know them, and they're amazing. Like they've all got their strengths, right? Like there's a mastermind. Like you've got the one who does the marketing, and one who's like the legal guy, and one who's the medical guy. And one lady, we have one, her name is Emily Wright, the heart of Doterra, the rest are men. And I just have to say that, you know, if I can't think of anybody who could not use essential oils, because there's always something in your house that you can use the oils for. And they also make great gifts, really and truly. Now, they even came out with roll-ons. So we have the actual oil that you can buy, which you can put in the diffuser, but you can have a roll-on that is already pre-diluted with fractionated coconut oil, so you can roll it on your wrist or your, you know, back of your neck or your ears. So there's always something, like they're always making something more convenient. We do have a whole supplement line. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, so Motivate, that was actually one of the BOGOs yesterday. Again, we just roll it on. It's great to throw in your purse. The supplements, would you have a question?
The stink away.
Stink
you
away.
Put it in the toilet, like after your kid goes.
Sure, absolutely.
Just your kid, right?
You
Absolutely.
don't. I do not.
You can put it right. Me either.
Absolutely.
I don't. Yeah.
Like right after or
Because
before.
you see, these oils kill germs, right?
Or you can
These
put it
are
right on 'em.
antibacterial.
Yeah. Spread them.
Before and after.
Spray it on his bum. That's good to know.
Pass it around. Yeah.
Because there's like
That's
that
a great
spray
question.
put in. What is that? Stink away. That was linen. That was for
Yeah,
linen.
one is linen, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. You know, you can't go really wrong when you, like I put oils in the diffuser and I mix oils all the time. Like it's all good. Yes.
No, what does Doterra give you
Great
recipes
question.
for
Great
your
question.
cooking?
Yeah.
Recipes for stress related?
Totally.
Like, how do you know
Yeah,
what to
we
make?
have so many resources. So you're right, doTERRA Corporate has a ton of resources online. When you join, they send you a package with information. If you're part of my team, you get to belong to my private groups on Facebook where I have education. I also have books. I provide actually people with like little booklets. There's books that you can buy as well. And yeah, and you know what? Audrey's really great because we're in two different networking companies, but we both like to support one another. And you know, Audrey could get her oils from her company, but you know, when it comes to getting the best quality, you go, and you don't have the variety. Exactly. That's right. That's right. So, you know, as Audrey mentioned, she has a daughter that has a major disease, and you know, when you get sick and you're already compromised, it's even harder. And so we used a Melissa oil, which it's a real powerhouse oil. Yeah, it's the most expensive oil that doTERRA carries, although they did just drop the price on it. Did you know? Yeah, they dropped the price on it. Yeah. Yeah, they made a few changes with other oils. Some oils went up in price and some went down. And it's one of those oils that I never want to be without. And I'll leave you with a story, just so like there's many stories, but the story that was really powerful for me was Emily Wright, one of the owners of the company. Her dad, there was a situation, so they were all flying to Hawaii for a family holiday. And it was two flights, right? Like this is a connecting flight. So they were in the airport, and Emily Wright's dad was not looking very well. And they're like, "You sure you're okay?" He's like, "It's okay, let's just get there." So they get on the first flight, they're in the airport. Before they go on the second flight, he's looking even worse than he was before. "Dad, are you sure you're okay? Like, you know, we can get you some medical help." He's like, "No, you know, partway there, let's just get there." So they're on the flight, and they're halfway now between where they left and where they are to go to Hawaii. And Emily Wright's mom is sitting beside Emily Wright's dad, and he starts seizing, convulsing. And Emily Wright's mom says, "Emily, what do I do?" She gets out the Melissa, and she says, "You get a couple of drops under his tongue right now." She managed to get the drops under his tongue, and he stopped seizing. They had the ambulance waiting at the other end. His appendix had burst. That was why he was so sick. And the Melissa controlled all the poisons that were running around in his blood, it saved his life. Because when they took him to the hospital, it was a really bad case because it's been going on for a while. They didn't even know he was sick, right? The poor guy is probably like, let's just get to Hawaii. Let's not ruin the family holiday. And they said actually that he was going to be in the hospital for 6 weeks, and Billy Wright's mom's like, oh no, we have a holiday to do. He was out in 3 days. Because again, they use the oils, they know what they're doing, but anything hard, like if someone's having a heart attack, I would get Melissa under the tongue or frankincense. There's certain oils, and you get to learn kind of what's good, and you get to learn what works for you, okay? I mean, my antibiotic recipe is tried and true, okay? Like I said, the on guard and the thyme and the oregano and the tea tree. And it can work topically too, it doesn't have to be internal. Because my son, I don't give my son the oils internally. And so he had a very bad bee sting, and his hand was hard, red, itchy, and they wanted to put him on antibiotics, and I'm like, no. And so I kept putting it on and putting it on and putting it on, and it wasn't going down. And my husband said, maybe we should get that. Maybe we should give the antibiotics. Well, hold tight, just give me a little bit more time. So during the night, I kept rubbing the oils on, massaging it in, and the next morning it broke. I'm like, yes. Just saved ruining my son's gut flora for a year, right? Because that's what antibiotics do. They just obliterate everything. See, this is where essential oils are really cool, because essential oils are organic, as are our bodies. So it works cohesively, whereas synthetic drugs don't know the difference. They just go in and blast everything. That's the whole difference between pharmaceuticals and natural stuff. You know, I've been fortunate enough to learn that things like hydrogen peroxide can be helpful. You know, honey can be helpful in certain cases. Like, we don't have to go to the doctor and just get a prescription every time, right? So, any questions?
I don't have a question, but I will say that I'm not a Doterra associate, or I don't have anything to do with the company. I'm a buyer of Doterra products, and I'm premenopausing.
Okay.
And instead of a period, I get migraines.
Okay.
So that's my thing. They wanted to put me on meds. Instead, I diffuse the Doterra in my bedroom when I get my migraine, and I'm out to cold because my migraine just overpowers me. But the Doterra, within the next day, I start to feel coherent again. And if I was taking my meds, it would be 4 days of being bedridden with a migraine.
And
so
what
Doterra,
oils are you using?
The first day I used the tea tree oil.
Okay.
And my second day I used lavender.
And that's it, eh?
And
Have you
that's
tried
it.
past tense? Yeah, frankincense is great too.
The I kind of react
you have
to it.
Okay. And that's good that you're really paying attention to that. Yeah. Yeah, I think past tense might have frankincense in it. It's got peppermint in it for sure. And cilantro, a few other ones. That one, a lot of
The
people have told
frankincense
me.
I don't react well to.
Okay.
So I figured out the tea tree is my first day, and then my second day is the lavender, and kind of just calms me down, and it brings my migraine out.
Have you tried peppermint?
The peppermint
Yeah,
I rub.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But to diffuse, I diffuse those two.
Have you heard about yarrow palm yet?
Does it have coconut in it?
No, it has,
That's the only thing.
it doesn't have coconut oil, it has pomegranate
Okay.
oil.
I haven't heard of that.
So yarrow palm is a brand new product that doTERRA came out with in September at convention. And I call it the bomb. Yarrow palm is the bomb because, because it balances all male and female hormones. Okay, so women are losing weight because the hormones are being balanced. Like this is all kinds of stuff that's being documented about this. And it's amazing for skin. So it's blue, it comes out blue, and the bottle's in a dropper, and you can just put it right on your face and your hands, and it's getting rid of age spots and all kinds of things. But for the hormones, male and female hormones, it's just amazing. The pomegranate is a nutritive too, oil. So
I'm taking estrogen now, and I don't want to be taking that for menopause.
okay.
It's just a gel, and I rub it on my stomach.
I have it for my wrist.
It really works. hot flashes, but I'd rather not be.
Well, we have oils for hot flashes though too. Like sometimes peppermint will work, but we have clary calm. Yeah, clary's got some clary sage in it. Like that's why I say like there's an oil for everything.
Peppermint right behind your ears when you're thinking when you're having one of the hot flash. Hot flashes? No, peppermint.
Yeah, peppermint.
It's like air conditioner in a bottle.
Yeah. It's the greatest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and they just keep adding more and more products to the supplements are really good. I find that sometimes when people take the Lifelong Vitality Pack, it's clearing up their hormones as well. Because it's balancing everything. It's not that the oils are curing. Yeah, but you know, it's not that the oils are curing the body. The body cures the body. What the oils do is just help bring the body into homeostasis. It's just balancing, right? This half the time we're just, you know, we're just off kilter, or we just need to be brought back. Yeah. Any other questions?
So you can get up to 3 or 4 oils.
That's right. That's right. Yes. So if anybody is interested, please come talk to me, or Charlotte, or Kimberly, or Nikita, or if Michelle, or you know. And again, you've got the spritzers. You will get the recipe card when you buy a bottle. Okay. So for this, I just have to do the cash. If you want to sign up, you can pay with credit cards. Yeah. Or Visa debit, they'll take that too. Doterra takes that. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you, everyone. Thank you.